I don't think any of us know this. अरे इतना easy life है, paparazzi है, following है, इतने लाखों रुपए लेते हैं, and these guys must be so rich.
So there's a Cine union which is there in India, which is there in Bombay. Every region has its own. South has its own. North has its own. Like India, Bombay has its own, and it's basically a Cine dress, hair, and makeup union. And as per the union laws used to be, not anymore. Men can do makeup, women can do hair only. And what was very heartbreaking for me was it was not the men who had a problem with women being makeup artists. It was the women who had a problem with women being makeup artists. Yes, it took me a while to get there.
Yeah.
I did not earn anything for the first 10 years. It's after I won the IIFA is when I started getting paid.
I was starting out today and I wanted to be a makeup artist. What are the challenges I should be prepared for? Should I get into the bridal space or should I get into the celebrity space? Hi guys, welcome to 9 to Thrive, where ambition meets action. Today we're launching 9 to Thrive Founders Edition, where we will sit down with founders who've built companies to understand the lessons they learned, the risks they took, and how they built something out of nothing. Today we have with us Namrata Soni. For nearly 3 decades, Namrata Soni has been one of the most influential names in India's beauty industry. Today, she brings that expertise to entrepreneurship as the founder of her brand, Simply Nam. We'll deep dive into both her careers. Namrata, the celebrity and bridal makeup artist, and Namrata, the entrepreneur. Hi, Namrata.
Hi, Archana.
Thank you for being here and thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be here.
You agreed to do this with a new timer like me, which says a lot about you without even saying much. So I'm going to deep dive right into it. Is there something you want to open with?
I just want to say thank you for having me. I think there are very few people who actually do podcasts with women entrepreneurs, and especially in the beauty space. So thank you for having me here, and I'm very excited about the podcast.
Awesome. Let's go into it. Namrata, you chose makeup as a profession almost 30 years ago.
Yes.
And it wasn't...
I feel so old.
Experienced.
Yes.
It wasn't a mainstream career back then, but you still chose that. Was that intentional?
I did. It was intentional. Honestly, when I did it, I did not know the complications that would come with the job. Like in the sense, we lived in a country where the union is very strong and they were very against women becoming makeup artists. And I didn't know any of that when I got into it. I just said, this is what I want to do. And I got into it. I studied in India under somebody. I went abroad and I studied. I came back and I wanted to get into it full time. And there were a lot of obstacles that came my way. And but I don't regret a minute of it. I've loved my journey so far. And if I could go back in time, I would do it exactly the same way.
Really?
Yes.
That's a very powerful thought. And thank you for starting the podcast with inspiring all women out there. Do what you want to do. Do not go by the norm. Just shifting gears just for a second. Do you think it was easier to start then because the problem of scarcity and not many women makeup artists, or it's more difficult to start now when there's a problem of plenty? I mean, everyone can open up their Instagram, do their makeup and think they're a makeup artist.
Okay, it was definitely more difficult to start when we did because like I said, it was not considered something that we were not allowed to do it as per a union that we were struggling and fighting against. So we were not getting jobs because people were like, oh, you don't have a union card and we can't give you a job. So we really had to fight to get the jobs. And we would only get jobs we would be doing in studios like this. We would not be able to work on film sets. We would not be able to work on ad shoots because it was, no, women can't do this. So it was definitely more difficult. You got work because of word of mouth. You didn't get work because of social media or because I'd put out a post and someone loved it and they wanted to send me a message on Instagram and book me for their wedding. It's so much easier now. Yes, there is a lot more competition, but if you're good enough, you will stand out.
Makes sense. Do you want to Do you want to tell us a little bit about this union that you're referring to?
So there's a Cine union, which is there in India, which is in Bombay. Every region has its own. South has its own. North has its own. Like India, Bombay has its own. And it's basically a Cine dress, hair and makeup union. And as per the union laws, used to be, not anymore, makeup can, men can do makeup, women can do hair only. And I didn't know that when I got into it. I was like, what? When I went first on set, I was like, what? Like, really? They were like, yes. So it was, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why. I couldn't understand why it was happening. It was happening from the 1950s. And it was, I remember spending hours and hours and hours standing outside the union in Dadar, you know, hoping that they would just like even talk to me and allow me to get a union card. And it was always no. You know, and I was like, you know what, forget it. I live in a secular country. We have a woman president. Nobody can tell me what I can or cannot do in my career, or as, you know, what I want to pursue in my life. So I continued to work. I was very blessed and very lucky that I had some fantastic directors, fantastic producers, fantastic actors in this industry who supported women and let me do the job that I wanted to do and love. So I had people like Farah Khan, Sonam Kapoor, you know, Karan Johar, you name it. And I had some really lucky producers, directors and actors who were willing to take that chance. Katrina, Kaif, who wanted to take that chance, Samira, Reddy, all of them worked with me despite the fact that I did not have a union card. And they believed in what I did, and they believed and they fought for the fact that what I could do, somebody else couldn't for them. And that is why I'm here today, because they fought and they believed in someone like me. And I'm so grateful that they did, because it was actually a struggle, and we only won the case in Supreme Court in 2014. It was crazy. There was a South makeup artist called Charu who took it on down south, and she won the case. And it filtered back to us, because in Bombay, I remember when I was fighting the cases, my mom would get threatening calls in the middle of the night. And that time there were no mobile phones, it was answering machines. You know, like if your daughter doesn't stop doing it in Hindi, and why Hindi is atrocious, we will cut off her hands, stop sending her to, you know, make sure that she doesn't do this. So my mom, my dad was like, you need to stop doing this. Like, why are you so insistent on doing this? They were both very supportive. And, you know, luckily I lived in Bombay, which is way safer than other cities in our country. And it was safe coming back by, you know, Kali Pili at night. And, you know, my sister would come and pick me up at 2 a.m. from Film City very sweetly. So it was a journey and a struggle. But I'll be honest with you, I am where I am today because of all that I went through. And I wish it wasn't there, but I'm glad it was, because it made me who I am today. Strong and resilient.
That's a very impactful story, and I think I'm shocked. Like, I don't know what to say.
You know, I'll tell you
idea.
something, Archana. The saddest part for me was in 2014 when I was shooting in ND Studios, that's in Karjat, and you know, I was like, there was an actor who was working with us, and he was like, listen, I need to sort this out. Like, why is this constantly happening? Let's just, you know, come down to the crux of it. And like, and the union came, and, you know, he just said that, just stand behind me, don't say anything, let's just hear them out. And you know what was more shocking to me, and what was very heartbreaking for me, was it was not the men who had a problem with women being makeup artists. It was the women who had a problem with women being makeup artists. Because it's like nepotism, but in the makeup and hair industry. So it's like, if I'm a hairdresser and I have a daughter, my daughter becomes a hairdresser, my son becomes a makeup artist. It's like a given. And here, there was this girl who was defying the norms and saying, I don't care. Yeah. I don't need to be somebody's daughter or somebody's son to be working in this industry. So, and I was standing over there and I was listening to them, and they were so angry. They were so angry at me. They were like, you know, because of you, our sons don't have work. It's because of you. And I'm like, how is it because of me? You know, you opened up the floodgates for allowing women, because there were very few of us before that, and especially in the movie industry. We had a few really big makeup artists female makeup artists in the fashion industry, but not in the film space. And especially someone who was fighting, you know, constantly fighting. And So it was very heartbreaking because when I stood there and I said that, you should be supporting a woman. I'm opening up, a pathway for your daughters to be able to do this. But they were very angry. And they were like, you just because you come from money. I said, excuse me, what makes you think that I come from money? I have worked very hard to buy my own car, to educate myself. And whatever I've earned, I've put back into, upgrading my skills. And I am where I am today because I've worked hard, So it was a very, very difficult time, honestly.
You've had a tough path, but just to pause for a second, like if I look on the brighter side, and I'd like, just take like a moment to just, applaud you.
Thank you.
For being resilient and powering through all of that and still emerging as the winner you are today, right? So it takes guts. Like that's the word I have for you. Like, a lot of courage, grit, and guts to be able to stand tall and say that, I am going to do this, because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And also, like, I don't think any of us know this about,
a lot of
Hindi
people
film.
don't.
We're all like, itna easy life hai, paparazzi hai, following hai, itne lakhon rupaye lete hai, and these guys must be so rich.
Yeah.
But thank you.
The
Thank you
glamour
for
of
sharing.
it all is very different.
How did you manage to pull through, right? Because it sounds like getting work is so difficult. So then how did you sustain? And I also mean like financially, right? I don't think that it was paying that well.
No, it doesn't. It didn't pay well at all. But yes, I came from a family where I was not working for the money.
Okay.
Initially, I was working because I was passionate about it, and my mom supported me. It's not that we came from super rich backgrounds or something, but she supported me. She was like, listen, I'm there. So don't worry about making this that, you have to bring money home to support the family. It was not like that. So yes, I had the support, but I had to earn to educate myself in this industry. Okay. To educate myself as a makeup and hair artist, to thrive, to continue, upgrading my skills. So it's been quite amazing, actually.
To have parents that support you, and it's an absolute privilege. So I'm glad that part worked out well for you, right? Because there are women who are fighting at home also to work.
Of course, it's very hard.
Parents-in-laws, motherhood.
It is. I think some of my best team members and assistants have had to bow out of doing this because of the time constraints. They have to be home at a certain time because they're married, or they, there are certain
have to provide.
Yeah, exactly.
It really sounds like a tough but inspiring journey. Mm-hmm. What kept you going on your tough days? Like,
oh
it was
my God,
just the passion.
I love what I do.
Wow. Okay.
I think there are very few people in this world who wake up in the morning and they go to a job that they love and they get paid to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, it took me a while to get there, to get that money and to get paid the way I do today. It is not as rosy as it sounds. Everybody thinks about the glamorous side of it and, you're a makeup artist and you're going to earn the big bucks. I did not earn anything for the first 10 years.
Okay.
It took me almost, I think it's after I won the IIFA is when I started getting paid, and I started getting taken seriously in the industry. Okay. And that was amazing. But it's a journey and you have to be very, very passionate about it. And yes, you have to have a lot of support from your family. Okay. I wouldn't be here without my sisters, my mom, my dad, my masis. I wouldn't be here without their support of constantly being there for me. And every Rakhi, Sister's Day, Mother's Day, whatever day was there, birthday gift, I would just get cash so that I could go buy and increase my makeup kit at that point. I did not want anything. I said, just give me money so that I can go and buy that one eyeshadow palette from MAC or that, whatever it was. So it was not without all of them that this would be possible.
Nice. To every mummy, sister, masi listening, let your daughters do what they want to, because they will be on a public forum thanking you someday.
Yes.
Namrata, you spoke about the challenges back then, but there are also, I feel like a larger number now of women entering the industry, thanks to people like you who set, who opened the doors for them. But if I was starting out today and I wanted to be a makeup artist, what are the challenges I should be prepared for?
So, I think the first thing that people should do is educate themselves.
Okay.
It's very easy to do your own makeup because you know what's wrong, what you want to correct in your face. I wouldn't say what's wrong, what you would want to enhance, what you would want to change.
Yeah.
But you need to know your ABCs of makeup. There's a lot more than just having 3 shades of concealers and 3 shades of foundation. So do a proper course. Do it from someone that you respect, you admire, whether that's in India, whether that's abroad. Invest in educating yourself. I think that goes in any profession. That goes for every profession. So make sure that you invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And if you want to reach where I have reached, everybody messages me. They're like, oh, I will just like pay on social media and I will like increase my followers and I'll get the work. It's not about that. It's about dedication. It's about patience. It's about assisting. I assisted for 3 years after I finished my course.
Okay.
I assisted different makeup artists. I worked in the industry. I did fashion. I did beauty. I did cinema to figure out what I was most passionate about. And honestly, you need to give yourself a little bit of time. People are in a rush. They're very, very hungry and they're in a rush to reach the top.
Yeah.
Fine, reach there. How are you going to sustain yourself there?
Yeah.
If you don't have the talent, and that talent is only going to come with patience and perseverance of like dedicating time and effort into this craft that you're creating for yourself.
Yeah.
You need to, like during lockdown, I remember, I think I did every possible online course that there was.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, why are you doing it? You have like 20 plus years in this. I said, oh, I love it. I said, for me, it's like, it's not school.
Yeah.
It's like something that I love, waking up and I'm watching someone like create something on somebody else and I'm learning something new every day.
Yeah.
So you need to, more than, yes, it's a profession that's going to get you paid for sure. And it's a very competitive industry, but you will stand out when you are doing it correctly. So invest in the right course, assist the right people, have a little bit of patience. Don't gossip too much. When you are assisting someone, when you're working with someone, really be dedicated to them.
Okay.
I want someone who's with me, who's going to be the extension of my arm.
Yeah.
Who I can close my eyes and leave my stuff on if I have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I want to educate and train.
Yeah.
I don't want someone who's going to be, oh, can I please take a selfie with you? Can I please like put this up on Instagram? Can you please tag me? How much are you going to pay me? Yes, I understand all of that matters. And something, the more you ask for it, the more it irritates the artist and the more they're not going to give it to you. I'm being very honest. That's what I've noticed in this industry. So yes, nobody is going to take you and not pay you.
Yeah.
But today we have girls who come up and artists who come up who have just finished a course and they'll come and say, oh, we want to get paid 30,000 a day. And I'm like, what? Excuse me, that artist itself is not earning 30,000 a day. What makes you think that you're going to get paid to assist that much?
Yeah.
I got paid 0 to assist.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I was lucky enough that I had a family that could support me, but you're assisting for the wrong reasons. You're learning this for the wrong reasons. It's not something that you can transform overnight into a very successful career. It takes a while to make it into a successful career. So patience, resilience, dedication, education, very, very important to sustain and grow in this industry. I've now been doing this for 26 years and I'm so grateful that till today, I get called for podcasts and people consider me to be one of the best in the industry, and that's only happened because I did not want to rush to the top. I did not want to pay to be where I am. I wanted my work to speak for itself.
No, Namrata, thank you. It's a privilege. I was nervous when I was typing the message to you, and I was so sure, she'll be like, you're new, you don't have following, why should I do this?
But I think that matters.
It does. To a lot of people, like you said, right, it's more about the optics. And not, putting the message out there. So.
But you're absolutely right, because I have a lot of people who are part of my team because they're students of mine and they've been working with me for 3 years, 4 years, and they're fantastic at what they do. But, when you're that young and fresh in the industry, you don't get those kind of clients who are like all over your page and when I get bookings, people will be like, oh, can you please share their Instagram page? And then when I do, they'll be like, oh, they don't have enough work. And I'm like, but don't judge them because of what they don't have on Instagram. I didn't reach where I am because of Instagram.
Yeah.
I didn't reach where I am because of Instagram. I reached here because of my hard work, dedication, word of mouth, people trusting me and wanting me because they heard about me.
Yeah.
Right? It was not because I filtered and put something with Facetune on Instagram.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are living in a world where that has become really important. And I always tell my clients that I'm sorry. If you want somebody from my team, I'm not sharing their Instagram handles.
Okay.
I will share their work and I will vouch for them because I have trained them.
Okay.
So I know what they're capable of, and I can guarantee you that you're not going to be disappointed.
Got it.
Because that's the only way I can stand up for the younger generation and get them that work that will get them where I am today.
Yeah.
Nobody did it for me. So I need to do it for the people out there because, that's why I am where I am. And I'm so grateful that we have things like social media in a way. It's got its pros and it's got its cons. That I can do this for the people working with me and for me.
I'm actually really, really glad you brought up Instagram because I have to say this, right? So I'm a follower even from like my personal handle, and it's been 6 years, and I don't know if it's important for you to know, during COVID, I took your online courses just so that I can learn.
Was it nice?
Very nice. I recorded it. I go over it whenever I want to learn how to do my own makeup.
Oh, that's amazing.
But your Instagram is not gimmicky. And by I mean not gimmicky, you're not doing those, all of that crap to, go viral. But you're still working with the best. You're working with Sonam Kapoor, Rani Mukherjee, Dimple Kapadia. All of the brides, the best brides, of India want you to, be there for the big day. Nam Glow is, an alternative term that we use, when someone is saying you're looking good. So, are you implying that Instagram is, a good way to reach to the right audience, but it's not everything? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, of course. It is. See, you need a place. It's made. Okay. So when I started, I had to get a website. Okay. My website got hacked, so I don't have my website anymore. But it's okay. But I needed a website to be able to showcase my work. So when somebody would reach out to me and they would be like, oh, can we see your work? I would have to send my website link. Or I would have to send a PDF, which I had made on Canva or whichever, other website. But today, your Instagram handle is like your CV.
Yeah.
So yes, I have to tell you, it gets me amazing work, amazing clientele, but it's not the end all and be all of everything. Because I still get 80% of my work because of word of mouth. Because people have seen my work somewhere, or it's been recommended that, oh, she did my makeup and get her for your wedding day. And I think that's really important. That balance is really important. Like, I'll be honest with you, if I didn't have a brand, I don't think I would have been on Instagram anymore. I swear, I literally am someone who is so I'm meant to be behind the scenes. And because I'm the face of my brand, I have to be in the forefront. So I've learned to evolve and accept it. But it's that balance is really important. And as a makeup artist in this industry, or as a woman in this industry, or in this world, you need to have that balance. I will never, ever put out my private life on my Instagram handle. If you followed me for 6 years, you will see that.
Yeah.
There is never a post about my family. There's never a post about me and my husband. There's never a post about anything in my life. It is work. Exactly. It is only work. It showcases my work. It showcases my talent. And I don't want to tell you where I'm partying. I don't want to tell you where I'm going to the spa. I'm okay with that.
Hold that thought, because when I go into Simply Nam, it's one of the questions that I did notice that you double down on Instagram, but I'll come to that later. But we left the conversation on investing in education, being relentless, getting the right experience, using Instagram in the right way, building your craft, and then going out there in the world. But there are a lot of, without sounding accusatory, self-taught makeup artists who have made it.
Of course.
Do you believe in that school of thought as well?
You know what? To each their own. I think when I started, I had to go abroad to study because we really didn't have much over here. I wanted to work with Corey, but he was not taking anybody new at that time. And there was a waiting list of 2 years. Yeah. I said, I can't wait for 2 years to start my career. So I decided to go to London. At some point, if you see the self-taught makeup artists, they're mostly in the bridal space.
Yeah.
When you want to get into that space, that's fine. But when you want to get into a cinema space, you need the ABCs of makeup. You need to understand and there are some amazing artists who do all of that by themselves. Okay. But most people want to be spoon-fed.
Okay.
They want to be told, this is how you do concealer, this is how you do base, this is the contour techniques, this is the blush techniques. So there are very few people who are self-taught who have made it. I remember my first ever academy in 2016. We opened up my course and we had more than 200 entries and we could only take like 50 people. Wow. And that also was a lot for me. I was like, oh my God, there are like too many people. I can't teach so many people. And the first day when I asked everybody to introduce themselves to me, everybody was like, yeah, but I've learned my makeup on YouTube. I've learned makeup on YouTube. I said, that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm going to have to make you unlearn everything because here we're not just teaching you this is the right shade of concealers for Indian skin and this is the right shades of foundations. You need to understand color theory. You need to understand the color wheel. You need to understand if you're stuck in a situation, how to make from red, blue, and yellow your own foundations and concealers. You need to know how to do that. Yeah. Because at that time, there was no chat GDP. And Google was not so strong. So today, of course, it's much easier, but it was very different at that time.
Got it. It was actually like my follow-up question, exactly what you mentioned, right? If I'm starting out today, should I get into the bridal space or should I get into the celebrity space? Because it's not easy to get into the celebrity space.
It's not easy to get into both the spaces.
Okay.
Okay, it's not easy to get into both the spaces. To reach that space where you're the bridal makeup artist, you need years under your belt.
Okay.
You will only get moms and sisters and bhabis and cousins to start with, which is great and fine because that's what builds you up. I started that way. Actually, no, I did not start that way, but that's different because I didn't do bridal when I started. I started doing bridal maybe 10 years ago, like 12 years ago. Before that, I only was doing films and, campaigns and all of that. But it's very different. You need to, as a makeup artist, be able, so when I studied, I did everything. I actually did not want to be a beauty makeup artist. I wanted to be a prosthetic makeup artist. So when I went to London to study, that's what I focused on. But when I came back in 2002, it didn't exist in our country. So I had to pivot and I had to get into the beauty space in a much stronger way than I wanted to originally. Then, of course, in 2007, I got the opportunity to do Om Shanti Om. I won the IIFA for it because I did prosthetics in that. So it was great, but it was still very nascent. It was still not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do like characters and make like monsters.
Do you want to take a second and explain what prosthetic makeup is?
So prosthetics is basically character makeup. It's like if I change your face completely, I can give you a new nose, I can give you new cheekbones, I can give you new lips, I can make you into a monster, I can make you into a man, I can make you into whatever I want. I can put bullet holes in you, I can put scrapes and cuts on you. That's prosthetics. It's very, very different. It's basically you're changing the character of a person. And it was very nascent in India. Like there were maybe like one makeup artist who was doing it at that point because we were not, our films were only gunshot wounds. The heroes getting like gunshot wounds and like cuts and scrapes. So we didn't have that. Today, it's changed a lot in our industry. But honestly, by that time, I'd completely moved away back. I'd moved into the beauty space. And I still love doing it. I do it once in a while for my nephews. I'll make like a cut or I'll make a bullet hole. But I pivoted into the beauty space more than the character makeup space.
Got it. That does sound like an interesting opportunity, but maybe, for people who are entering today.
It again depends on what you want to focus on, honestly, like as an artist, I would say when you're starting off, do a makeup course which allows you to understand bridal and beauty. So what happens is when you know bridal and beauty, you understand the nuances of what each pertains, right? Bridal makeup is very different from beauty and cinema makeup. How you maintain makeup on a 12-hour shoot to when you go and get somebody ready for 2 hours and leave. So you really need to understand the products may be similar, but the way you use them are completely different. So you, as an artist, when you do a course, you will be taught a lot of things, but that experience that you need and that vision that, okay, do I really want to get into the beauty space, bridal space, or do I want to get into the cinema space, will come after you assist.
Got it. And is the industry open to accepting newcomers and assistants?
Always.
Okay.
I mean, every makeup artist out there is looking for, because everybody is moving on, right? So
Yeah.
like somebody who assists me for a minimum of 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. And then they move on. They get their own work and their own clients and their own brides and their own actors, which is great. And so you're always looking for someone new. You're always looking to, and I'm not going to take my skills to my grave.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
would like to, I do educate the newer generation every single year. I only do my course once a year, but I do it and I love it. I love those 3 weeks because honestly, it's the only time of the year I have a schedule. I'm working 9 to 5. Otherwise, I have no schedule. Like my life is all over the place. Like the timings are all over the place. So just do a course. Don't be stuck on, I want to be only a bridal makeup artist.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be a prosthetic makeup artist. I never in my life thought that I would become a beauty, cinema, and bridal makeup artist in my life.
But you pivoted
Celebrity.
as per market demand.
I
and what
pivoted at
was-
that point because of
what was
market
available.
demands. Yes, what was available. But I really wish I could have gone back, you know, like I really wish I could have done that because I just love it. And I love blood and gore. And I mean, my sisters don't understand it, but I loved it.
Maybe someday.
I think deep down I want to be a surgeon.
May I softly nudge without, not that you share it with me, but because I'm following you, I know your course is starting
April 20th, it starts.
April 20th.
Yes.
So for those of you who are looking to learn, maybe.
Yes.
I want to talk money for people starting right now, right? So in an ideal world, I have the passion to grow. I'm
Yep.
patient enough to be in the makeup industry. I have the understanding and knowledge that I have to educate myself. Assuming my basic checklist is in place,
Yeah.
what should my initial investment to build that makeup kit look like, even if I'm assisting? Or correct me if my understanding is wrong. Like if I'm assisting, I don't need a kit of my own.
You don't initially need a kit of your own, but normally you assist after you've done a course. You do have your kit. You at least have the basics in your kit. When you're starting off and say you finished a course, you finished your course. So initial investment, even in a course in yourself, depending on where you decide to go, could be anywhere between 2.5 to 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs for like, depending on who you're doing it from. And to make your kit, you need at least 3 to 4 lakhs.
Okay.
Over a period of years. It's not initial.
Okay.
Your initial investment would be like around 1.5
Okay.
to get a pretty decent, good kit.
Okay.
And as an artist, I would tell anybody out there, don't be in a rush to buy everything.
Okay.
Keep testing, feeling textures, understanding what you love and what your style and individuality is as an artist, and then buy things.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember when Mac came in, everybody went and got a
Yes.
Mac kit. And I love Mac. I mean, I still love Mac. And I was like, no. I said, I still want my Bobbi Brown and I still want my Mac and I still want my Estee Lauder and I still want few of my YSL things, because you're working with such very different individuals that you want them to look unique in themselves. And I wanted that in my kit. So don't be in a rush to like start and buy everything, and don't be trend focused.
Yeah.
Okay? Trends come and go.
Yeah.
Be a classic style artist.
Yeah.
You can make anything you have into the trend that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to buy a purple blush because purple is in trend.
Yeah.
How do you make purple?
Yeah.
Blue and pink.
Okay.
So if you have blue and pink in your kit, you make purple.
Yeah.
So understand, that's where your basics of makeup come in. You need to understand your color theory. It is so, so, so important, which is why I would say invest in yourself initially in your course. Slowly start building your kit. Be present when you're assisting someone. Just don't be, oh, I need to take a BTS video because it'll go on my Instagram and people will see who I'm assisting. be present in what they're doing on set, how they're correcting something, how they're maintaining something, how they're creating something. And that's what will make you a better artist and will sustain you for, like, look at Mickey Contractor. I think he's been in the industry for 40 years. Like, will sustain you to his career.
Still relevant, still so
Still amazing,
relevant.
still one of the best. And who wouldn't want his career?
Yeah.
I mean, he is one of my idols.
So insightful and so relevant, because like all I see out there is like, buying so much,
Oh
and
my
then,
God,
you
it's
do
never
those
ending.
Sephora hauls, and then you feel
Oh my
like,
God.
and that's exactly why I love your brand. And I wanted to start the series with you because it doesn't break the pocket, but more on that.
Worked very hard on that.
Yes, more on that later. Let's say I started in the bridal space. The numbers out there are exorbitant, even for people who are not, don't have
Don't
as
even have
many.
that.
Yeah. So what, like, can we like normalize?
Talk about that? Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and like benchmark
I always
some
tell my
numbers?
students, when you have finished my academy, you're a newcomer. You have worked on very limited number of faces. You have been taught the ABCs of makeup. You still need to create your own individuality first as an artist, right? When I finish my course, I have mini-me's who are trying to imitate me throughout and my style. And I always say this to everybody, try as much as you want. Nobody has my hands and nobody has my mind.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you need to create for yourself.
Yeah.
Like when you see my work somewhere, you might not know who's done it. You're like, oh, that looks like Namrata's work.
Yeah.
Because I've created that.
Yeah.
So when someone used to see a magazine cover, I would get a message saying that, even before I saw the credits, I knew it was your cover.
Yeah.
And that's what that recall value of the kind of artist you are is what you want to build.
Yeah.
So I would say when you start off, yes, if you are working to take money home, be very honest to the artists that you're assisting that, listen, I need to take a basic amount home.
Yeah.
What is that basic that you can give me?
Yeah.
And what are the things that are required from me, to be part of this journey of yours? So I would say a minimum could start for assisting, could start anywhere between 25,000.
Okay.
And it could go up, or it could be even 20,000. As a makeup artist, when you start, I always tell my students, please just charge, because you need to recover the price of your products.
Yeah.
You're not charging for your skill, because those people who you're doing initially and who are trusting you and giving you that work they're your models.
Yeah.
They are who are going to come on your Instagram. They're the ones who are going to come on your social media. So I would say start from like 6,000 to 7,500.
Okay.
And when I say this figure, they look at me and they're like, what? So little? And I'm like, yeah, so little, because it's still a lot. If you are being sensible and you're charging an amount which is affordable, you will have a lot more people who will call you again and again. And if you're going to start off at 20,000 when nobody knows who you are,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. You'll get maybe one person in 3 months. And that's not what you want. You want enough people under your belt. You want that Insta handle to grow. You want everybody. I would say if I work on 10,000 faces a year, I would say 10 out of them might not want to be on social media or may not want to be covered on social media. I'll say, oh, please don't put me up on social media. But everybody else wants to be on social media.
Yeah.
I've had a few brides and clients book me because of my social media presence. So I was like, really? I said, not because of my talent. But so be a little bit reasonable in your mindset. You will earn the money when you prove yourself. So as long as you're earning that basic minimum to look after your family, to look after yourself, to be able to replenish your kit, go for it. But don't be unreasonable about it, because you're not going to get that kind of work.
Well put. That's really well put, Namrata. I think
hope they don't hate me for that.
we need more like voices out there, because not everyone can afford that 20,000, and like, why?
And you would pay that 20,000 or the 25,000 or the 30,000 for someone
once
who's
in like 10
exactly.
years.
If you're getting married, or
wedding,
you're going for like it's your 20th anniversary or your 10th anniversary, or you're going for your cousin or your brother's wedding, you're not going to spend it, though people get ready for everything today. And I'm very grateful, because it's opened up such a huge market for this industry today. And a lot of people do get work because of it. But you also need to be a little bit sensible about how much money you're asking someone to pay.
Makes sense. Your eyes light up when you talk about makeup, and you're very passionate. Like, I feel like becoming a makeup artist.
Well, you can join my course.
The last question on this segment before we move into Nam the entrepreneur. And it's slightly personal, right? So I feel like makeup is a way of enhancing what you already have, like you said, right? Which therefore makes me feel more confident, more beautiful. And you have spent your entire career making women feel beautiful and confident. Was there ever a time in your life where you had to fix like your own confidence and you felt like really beaten down and you had to power up?
Of course I did. In 2015, from 2015 to 2021, I was going through my IVF and I felt like shit. You know, the injections, and I was someone who's never had a pimple my entire teenage life. And I was like, oh my God, like my skin issues were just relentless. And, you know, it was also a time when social media became so powerful and people are just really nasty online.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm someone who stands up for myself. I do not take BS at all, even on social media. Like, I had to be told to like,
Calm down.
Please calm down. Because I would tell people off. Like, okay, if you don't like it, please leave my life. You know, like, I mean, till now, people will be like, oh, how old are you? Why do you have so much gray hair? I said, I choose to grow my gray hair. You don't have to follow me if you don't like my gray hair. So I still do that, but much more reserved and much more, you know, lighter. But it's been, I actually was someone, I don't wear base. I only wear liner, mascara, and blush because I really work very hard to take care of my skin. And for me, those 7 years was very hard because that's when I actually appreciated the power of makeup. Because I was like, man, I'm putting this one concealer and I'm stepping out and I can already feel the confidence that it's giving me because I can actually face the world. I was not camouflaging myself. I was enhancing. I was giving myself a little bit of extra confidence, you know, because at the end of the day, we live in a world which is so judgmental.
Yeah.
Am I right? Like, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion about you, about your life, about what you're wearing, about what you're eating, about whatever. And I've never been someone who cares. I do not have FOMO, and I've never had FOMO. Thank God, thank God, thank God. But I would look at myself in the mirror and I would actually ask my husband, I said, how are you like looking at my face every day? And he's like, oh, you're still so beautiful. And I love my husband for that, you know, because he didn't ever make me feel that, oh my God, like I married this flawless person and this is what your skin is now, or my mood swings or whatever it was, you know. But makeup gave me a lot of confidence to face the world out there.
You are a powerful woman, Namrata. No, I didn't know
all
this.
All women are powerful.
No, but we didn't know this about you.
Because I don't talk about it.
Yeah,
like I said, my personal life is never on social media.
Yeah, I don't know if my feedback to you is put your story out there a little more. There are women who really look up to you and this would inspire them, stand up, fight, and I'm not saying replicate your journey, but be like, if she did it, so can I. So I'm so happy that,
thank you.
Thank you for sharing this story and thank you so much.
Of course.